this is behind the scenes on this program. When we have little audio clips and pieces, Biggie compiles them and then sends a list to Chris Demm and myself via email so we know, okay, number 1 is this, number 2 is this. Here's what we have. For the last 2 or 3 days, Chris Demm hasn't been getting that email, and I suggested Biggie is joining the others in this building trying to quietly push him out the door.
Why, I would never.
Just there's a quiet conspiracy here to push Chris Demm out the door. I think the engineer Drew is making your states be capitalized or not capitalized.
It wouldn't shock me in the least.
It'll drive you crazy.
Because earlier this morning, my Gmail froze. You know, I hit right. I hit the little pencil icon.
Oh no,
nothing happens.
It's frozen.
Just froze.
Yeah, that's when we get to a certain age, the technology starts to leave us, elude us. We got a Throwback Thursday on Put Up or Shut Up Rock and Roll Trivia. This is right down the middle for you.
This should be good.
This will help you. We're going.
I need some help. My average is dropping
big time. Not that we're watching.
That's another one. We're keeping an
fast and quick.
Up in legal, they're keeping an eye on his average. Oh boy, these averages.
He's slipping.
He's going down. He may be slipping. I'll tell you this though, I don't have any sympathy because Biggie, I cannot tell you, Chris Demm offended me so badly yesterday. I had been listening to easy listening music on the way in, and they had played a song by Chicago, If You Leave Me Now.
Oh, yes.
So I start at the desk. Sometimes I'll just sing absentmindedly. And so I start singing, if you leave me now, you take away the biggest part of me. Ooh, baby, please don't go. And Chris Demm, after I did a couple of choruses of that, said, this is what you sound like.
But if you leave me now, you take away the biggest part of me. Ooh, girl, baby, please don't go.
That's all I heard.
That's all he heard.
Little Butters.
I sang it just a couple of times, and he says, this is in my head.
But if you leave me down, you take away the biggest part of me. Ooh, girl, baby, please don't go.
I just slammed my things down. I said, I can't.
I'm leaving.
I'm not taking.
No, you're not. No, you're right. You're right.
I don't have to stand here.
Where are you going to go? All right, you're right.
That's right. That's pretty much how it is. My wife says,
pant.
Oh, my pants are. I'm sorry. I'm hitching my pants right now. My wife says she's listening to this podcast, and Chris Demm was asking me if I'm following this case. My wife is following it like a hawk on a rabbit. I haven't seen any. I don't know anything about it. This murder in South Carolina.
That family. Is it Murdoch, right?
Yes.
What is this exactly?
I don't know.
I know the fringe of it.
I couldn't even begin to tell you. I know 2 members of the family are dead. One was shot over the weekend. And no one knows exactly. There was a death. There was a boating accident.
Well,
some people believe that other people have been targeted.
There's money involved. They're very wealthy.
Yeah, it's a powerful family.
You don't know. I mean, she is so into this. My wife's very into true crime, and since the pandemic, 48 Hours Mystery and the one on NBC, Dateline, not nearly as many episodes. I guess they can't get in and.
I used to have Dateline Fridays, and
so did she.
Yeah, they're not as good. They're like an hour now too.
What she said.
Oh, if you leave me now, it's the biggest part of it.
That's right.
But if you leave me down, you take away the biggest part of me. Ooh, girl, baby, please don't go.
I sang that.
That's the biggest part of you.
And she doesn't have it anymore. Not at least on Dateline and 48 Hours Mystery. And she's really feeling that void. And
I'm with her.
So she has followed this case really as closely as you can. And somebody does a podcast on it. And I don't know who, but she's started listening to true crime podcasts to fill that void. And one of them's on this. Well, the woman on the podcast, which I haven't heard, she's like 23, 24 years old. And she talks like most 23 or 24-year-olds, where she's
that distinctive kind of young sound.
You guys, this a lot of that.
Does she like a lot?
Yes.
The word like is overused.
Like, you guys, yes, a ton of that.
So she like shot him.
So
they're like dead on the side of the road.
Apparently, on the podcast, you can leave comments, and at the end of the podcast, she'll say, If you guys have anything to add or you have any information or suggestions for this podcast, just let me know in the comment section. I'd love a 5-star. If you can give me a 5-star.
Yeah, like and subscribe.
Yeah, all that. So my wife listens to the first or second podcast, and she said for the next one, it started with the woman saying, you guys, when I asked for suggestions on this podcast, I didn't mean critiques of my voice.
Oh.
I can't help my voice. This is what I sound like. This is how I talk. So the A-Train, my wife, who's so into true crime, says it's worth it to get the information on the case. But the woman is so
hard to listen to.
It's hard to get through. But now, every single episode, you guys, please stop being cruel about my voice.
I'll turn off the comments.
Yeah.
If you guys don't stop, I'm going to turn off the comments.
This is how I talk. You guys, I can't help my voice, okay?
No, I'm triggered.
Yeah. And she was like, my voice is raspy because I'm working 24/7 on this podcast, and I have another job too, and all of this. So she's so basically now she's saying comment, but not on my voice. And I just saw this. I thought this was so funny. Northwest is the son of Kanye West, who Kim Kardashian.
I think
It's the daughter.
Daughter.
It's a girl.
Sorry, daughter. Yeah. Northwest. How old is she?
8?
Yeah,
Okay.
she's the oldest.
Apparently, Kim Kardashian was doing something where, she's an influencer. So she goes online and talks about products. And Northwest was in the room while she was doing this. And Northwest started saying, the little girl says to mom, and it's caught on audio and video here, you sound different when you're, instead of just being around the house, you sound different when you talk about these products. This is what she said.
So I just opened it up, and it has the cutest mini flat iron.
Why do you talk different?
Why do I talk different for what?
For your videos.
For my videos, I'm the same human being. I don't talk different. How do I talk different? Guys, do you think I talk different when I'm talking about contour?
Yeah.
You do too, Penelope? How do I talk? Guys,
So today I got this new mask and these new bronzers. I got this.
is that what I say? Is that what I sound like?
Yeah.
So she's burn. That is a
Pretty good burn. Yeah.
flame.
Pretty good burn there.
Totally.
Total flame, total ratio, everything.
Oh, yeah. You just got ratioed. Kim Kardashian. Well, that's what this woman in this podcast sounds like, too.
I have a couple of thoughts about this, Kelly. One, this kind of reminds me of that trial of the woman who started that company Theranos that, for whatever reason, obsesses me. What's her name?
She's in the news now.
Oh, because the trial started.
The fraud trial has started. They've seated the jury, and I can't remember her name, but she was like the youngest billionaire ever. But it appears that her company was based all on fraud.
Oh, yeah. Great documentary on HBO. Elizabeth Holmes is her
Thank you,
name.
Biggie.
Yes.
But every time she spoke in public, she spoke like this.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are wondering if she testifies, if she'll use this voice.
Or if she'll go back to her natural speaking voice.
So she changes it.
She changed it because there appears to be science that shows women who have deeper voices are perceived as being more powerful, more knowledgeable.
Really?
Yes.
So she intentionally
yeah.
changed
If you,
her
listen,
voice.
if you listen to someone who talks like this,
Are you listening to someone who talks like this?
So
who's
true.
who's more believable?
Yeah.
to
So
you?
true.
And in the documentary, they show her early footage versus as she got more and more power. Her voice she was
Really?
definitely
Yeah.
changing her voice.
Yeah, and apparently she was on a podcast. Holmes was on a podcast once and let her voice, they say her real voice slipped out.
Is
and
that,
she quickly had to change it.
that is
But it
very
is a fascinating story. And now that the jury has been seated, I'm not sure when the testimony begins, but apparently young women are showing up to watch the trial dressed as her.
Oh, really?
And she dressed like the old Steve Jobs.
And
Yeah,
me,
black
turtleneck.
all the time.
Are they doing that to mock her or do
Or
we
if
know?
they're fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hard to say.
She's the one who said that she would do a single pinprick of your finger and could run like 200 tests on that blood. But that was not true. And she became a billionaire over it. And it wasn't, and people were like, this isn't working. This isn't right.
She was so good, they sold it to like the idea to Walgreens.
Amazing.
And Walgreens was putting it in their stores.
There's a big partner.
Yeah.
And that would be, what a breakthrough that would be, by the way.
Wouldn't it?
A tiny drop of blood tells you everything you need to know about your health.
Do you have cancer?
It tells
just
you.
prick your finger to Walgreens.
But it's not true.
The stories of the people that work there were unreal, just about how, vials of blood just spewing everywhere because the machine would overheat and explode.
Oh, God, really? I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Oh, yeah, the machines never, ever, ever worked.
And they just falsified all their data.
Boy, let me give you...
And one more thought, too, about your wife, Kelly.
Yes, about her listening to the podcast.
You've mentioned a few times, I don't think we're talking out of school, that she, at the moment, is between jobs.
Correct, yeah.
You've also mentioned, more than once, that you have a side business that could best be described as flailing, your voiceover business.
Oh, yeah, absolutely right, yeah.
What that means is you've got a lot of electronic equipment in your home. Your wife should start her own murder podcast.
She could. She should start a murder podcast.
The technology is in the home.
Agreed.
She's got the passion.
She has a very pleasant voice.
She does. She should do some voiceover.
She doesn't need to talk like this.
Yeah, she does. She does have a great voice. That's true. I've told her, start one, do a podcast. But,
do something. Sorry, I finished that for you.
I didn't say it.
No, but that's what implied.
I didn't say it out like that. I just was saying, I always say, you're so talented and your voice is so good. You should get out there.
That's what you say.
I say, you're so talented. You gotta go out there and show the world.
You love murder. Share that love.
Share it. You guys, this is...
I can't help my voice.
I can't help it.
But you can.
Stop. You can. You can help
You
your
can
voice.
do something about it.
That's right. Let me give you my piece of good news. 2 pieces of good news on COVID. 1, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade will be back in person this year. They will have people there, but you have to show a negative test or you have to show that you have been vaccinated.
Question.
How they're going to do
To
it.
whom?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
The balloons.
That really seems almost impossible because
Check
it's
in at Macy's.
right there on the street.
How long is the parade?
A couple of miles.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm sure they'll have people at the street entrances, but as we've talked about, this game of show me your vaccination card,
please.
Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as that became a thing, people were hawking fakes.
Yeah.
And doctors will write you fakes.
That's
There are
right.
plenty of doctors who disagree with the prevailing view and will write anything.
That's right.
Yeah, and frankly, you're paying someone who's just going to glance down at a card. They're not going to be like, no, okay, come on.
Doesn't really matter.
Come on.
It's outdoors, so I guess it's okay. The other thing is, if you've now I am in this community. If you've had COVID and then you get the vaccine, a test has been done saying that some of these folks, at least, that have had COVID and then gotten the vaccine have such a powerful immune response that they want more studies on this to show, because then they're very resistant to all variants, including the Delta variant. A couple of small studies have shown that's the best. You're almost bulletproof, they're saying, if you've had it and then gotten the vaccine. It's like those two things together have really worked well for people. I'm in that camp. I had it last year, very mild symptoms.
Do you think, I guess maybe too soon to know, clearly it's probably too soon, people who are the opposite, got vaccinated and then got the breakthrough case?
Yeah, too soon to know.
I don't know. Yeah,
I haven't seen anything on that, but I bet it is. They say that they're calling those folks that have had it then gotten the vaccine. They say they have superhuman immunity and hybrid immunity, meaning that the variants don't break through.
You're not just reading this so you can call yourself superhuman.
that's what it sounds like.
It did. It entered my mind. Let me just say that. It entered my mind.
Yeah, I may not have a podcast. I may sing poorly.
I do not.
But I am superhuman.
I do not sing.
I'll come to your super spreader event.
But if you leave me down, you take away the biggest part of me. Ooh, girl, baby, please don't go.
That's not me. That's not. I didn't.
That's what I recorded yesterday in the office.
I didn't. That's.